Hello, Darkman Doll here. I usually do a show called Freeform Dreadlock Talk, and it's a show where I share with you the adventures of having freeform dreadlocks, at least my adventure, and I answer your questions or whatever you might have on your freeform dreadlock journey. So today, what did I do to my hair today? I rinsed it with water, and I'm just letting it air dry. And a lot of people will ask me, how many dreadlocks do you have on your head? I don't know because I have so many, and I'm always getting new growth. See, see these little ones up here are turning into one big one. See that? I don't know if you can see it in the light, but yeah, they're all joining together. And recently, I went to a dreadlock group on Facebook, and I was just asking, why is it just that this group only has people with salon locks in this group? If so, then I don't think I belong here. And I had a picture of myself with the way my freeform dreadlocks look. They were looking a little bit more wilder because they weren't just freshly rinsed. And I got a lot of response from just that one photo and that comment, that post. And I was just kind of like, wow, that's crazy. A lot of people thought I was trying to be confrontational, which I wasn't. I was just asking a question because I frankly don't want to be a part of a group where that's all they're talking about when it's nothing to do with me and I'm not really interested in it. I'd rather be in a group where it's talking about freeform dreadlocks and what I'm actually doing with my hair on my hair journey. It's nothing against people that do have salon locks and go to salons or have locks that are separated, perfectly separated and all symmetrical in the same, shape. I have nothing against people that have, locks that are like that. It's just that that's not what my journey is about. And a lot of people got mad and thought I was trying to start some shit, but I wasn't. So everybody just be you and enjoy your adventure with your freeform dreadlocks. Not everybody's gonna like the way you look. I got a comment on that post saying you should have at least styled your freeform dreadlocks, better or something. And it's like, you're missing the point of freeform dreadlocks. It's not about styling. It's not about styles. It's a spiritual journey, and the freeform journey kind of been made a mockery of by people who decide I'm gonna let my hair freeform, and then they chop them off, and then they start on something else, and they decide to, put extensions in their hair, and then do faux locks or whatever. I don't care what people decide to do with their hair. It's whatever, but don't try to pretend like you're on a spiritual journey when you're really not, when you're doing this out of a trend and not because you're just wanting your hair to get healthier so you can have a healthy head of hair of freeform dreadlocks. So that's all I have to really say about that. I'm just not interested in being a part or looking at something that I don't really feel like I connect with. So, and it's Facebook, so let's face it. I mean, it is what it is. I usually don't go on Facebook unless I'm like promoting my artwork. But I was invited to certain groups, dreadlock groups, and I'd look at the photos, and for a while it was just kind of like, I really don't want to see this. People talking about the same issues over and over pretty much. And people getting, wondering why their hair fell out because I dyed my hair and now my dreads are damaged and falling out. What do I do now? It's kind of questions resurfacing over and over. And that's okay because some people are learning about their hair, more and more as years go by. If they have dreads for more than just a fashion trend, they start to realize that certain things are damaging to their hair. And certain things make their hair a lot more nourished and healthier. So, it's all about learning. It's all about experiences and learning from those experiences. So I'm not out here to judge people who have different locks than I have. I'm not even about that. Because I saw some other comments that said locks are locks. What does it matter? No, there's a difference between certain locks. There's a difference between locks that are palm rolled, different between locks that are twist and rip, back combed, twisted, two-strand twist. Some people start off that way. Some people start off that way and decide to let their hair form freely after that and do nothing else. So everybody, there is a difference. There's a difference between people do interlocking, people who use a crochet needle on their hair, the crocheted locks, those are different too. So, I think people should educate themselves about all the types of locks and decide which one that they feel like that's what they want, what they prefer, what method they prefer. I prefer a healthier approach for me, and a healthier approach for me is to let my hair just do what it wants to do its job. Grow naturally the way it wants to grow, not the way I force it to grow. So that's just what I want to do, and it doesn't have to be what you want to do. It's just, I feel like the very definition of freeform dreadlocks to me is let them to grow freely, form freely. So there you go. Thanks for joining me today, guys. I just wanted to come to you guys with a video just talking about people and how they there's just a lot of judgmental people out there still, and it almost seems like the people that are judgmental aren't sure about what it is they're doing on their journey. So then they just start, picking and messing with other people and bullying other people because their dreads don't look like theirs. You know what I mean? And I really don't care about getting into some asinine drama like that. And that's why I left to the dreadlock groups on Facebook, because it just seemed like people just trying to start shit. This one lady, she posted something saying, how come white people don't style their dreadlocks like black people do? Black people have some really, tight ass styles, and all this shit. And I'm just kind of like, a lot of these hairstyles that black people that are styling their dreadlocks, a lot of these styles are so compromising on the scalp and the hair that a lot of people are losing their hair, and they're getting a condition called alopecia, where you get a receding hairline, and your edges are blown out completely, you have nothing, and your hair is just falling out. But also you can create this really wonderfully cool hairstyle. Over periods of time and wearing your hair like that, it gets weak. And I know this because I've done some really fancy hairstyles that people really liked with my dreadlocks, but it weakened my dreadlocks, like this one in the front. This one's kind of thin right in there. And I'd attribute that to some of these tight-ass hairstyles I was wearing in the past. But I learned my lesson, because hair can be very fragile. You can only push it to so much of a limit, to the point where it's like, fuck this, I'm just going to fall out of your head. So I just thought I'd come to you guys with a video talking about these type of things that I'm noticing within these dreadlock groups that I belong to. I'd rather just be a part of a group that's freeform locks, but then I belong to a group that's freeform locks mainly. But even then, it seems like people are just paying too much attention to their hair all the time. Always looking at it and always trying to do some sort of style with it, even though it's freeform dreadlocks. I mean, the closest I do to a style really is just do this. Done. There's your style. You know what I mean? Just in order to get hair out of my face or out of harm's way. And that's how you create a healthier head of hair, if that's what you want. You know what I mean? If you want a healthier head of hair, you need to start by all these fancy hairstyles need to go out the window, and really become more conscious of why you're letting your hair lock naturally. Freeform dreadlocks, that whole title, is the meaning of it has changed over years because people have changed the meaning of it. They're wanting to make freeform dreadlocks more approachable. Make your hair look more like something that you can have going on when you have an interview and get the interview. Have to have some fancy ass fucking hairstyle in order to get a fucking job. Even if the hairstyle is, ruining your hair and your scalp, people are willing to do whatever. to create whatever illusion in order to get what they need or they think that they need. And it's really sad because there's so many people that are so self-conscious about the way they look still, and they're fucking adults and they're still feeling self-conscious about whether or not they go outside and their hair is going to mess up. You know, their perfectly coiffed hairdo, if it's going to get jostled up and messed up out of place, you know, how are people going to look at you if one of your dreadlocks is sticking straight up in the air, or if your dreadlocks aren't all the same size? How are people going to judge you? How are they going to approach you? So, if you're all into what people think about you, then these are all things that plague your mind day in and day out. But is it worth it? And I think that the Freeform dreadlock, the process of it, and the decision to let your hair lock naturally is a path that is is built on a lot of patience, and it's built on a lot of self-love and just reaffirming all the wonderful things that you have within your world other than just your hair. You start to get to the point where you're not looking at yourself all the time and always analyzing yourself and comparing yourself to all these other people. So there you go. So yeah, thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed today's show. Hope it helped you on your Freeform dreadlock journey. It's just simple things that seem so complicated when you're used to doing so much shit to your hair all the time. You know, and being able to keep things simple, it's kind of like being new at meditation. You know, you're impatient because you're expecting something to happen and not sure what's going to happen. And that's kind of similar to the Freeform dreadlock journey. If you just relax and just let things be, this is what happens. Your hair just starts to grow and get healthier. So thanks for joining me today. Thanks for subscribing to my channel. Thanks for the likes and shares. And thank you for your kind comments. Leave your comments down below and let me know how your Freeform dreadlock journey is going. And brightest blessings, and I'll see you soon.